Right, just having a little bit of a look at the Cobra 200 GTL DX, which for you guys who are looking for something on 10 meters, this might interest you because this here could do some nice power output. Look, they're a lovely receiver on them, but also he had a nice chunky output stage, which as you can see on the rear here, good for about 70 odd watts, so not too bad. And good little receiver on them too, we've found. We'll just maybe have a look. Now when I say good receiver, that's listening at 0.5 of a microvolt. Here's the trick. We can take that. Still hearing that. I've had to turn the volume up a fair way. Still hearing that at 0.1 of a microvolt. Now, you probably can't hear this, but at 0.0496 of a microvolt on 28490, very hard to hear, I'm sure. Very easy to hear at 0.4, 0.5 of a microvolt. My apologies. And 50 microvolts. Turn that volume down a bit. So yeah, look, nice receiver on them. Irritating noise, but you know, that's how we do it. And they have a high-low button on here. So the high-low button is probably, 10, 20 watts, I think, from memory. On the low, 1, 2, 3, yeah, sort of. And then when you push this little button in here, which is a great way to sort of give yourself a little bit more output. Have a look at this. Nice. Hello. So, not quite peaking 70 watts in, but very capable of doing actually peaks over that. I'm got the worst whistle on the planet, as most people know. But you can get into 29 megs on this as well. So, for those that want to actually use the FM portion of this, you can certainly go to FM and squelch your FM, of course, and your channel display will take you, sort of around the place into, 29600, etc., etc. So, I believe there is a modification to change that plus 10 kilohertz to a minus 100 kilohertz, which would be perfect to be able to push that button and go minus 100 for your repeaters. So if you were on the repeater on 620, 640, etc., etc., you could just go minus, etc. So that would be a mod that I think a lot of people would like to do in relation to this radio. It is all mode in the fact that CW, FM, AM, upper and lower. So just have the ability to put a CW jack in the back of it as well. Unfortunately, there are a few things that I suppose that may not get used on it on 29.640. One being the echo. I can't imagine being used much. The other one was the Roger beep. So those two things there, maybe not being used so much. Of course, you've got mic, RF gain, etc. This is a pretty interesting radio. Look, I'm sure there'll be a couple of comments that says, what does A, B, C, and A and B do versus C and D, and of course, this thing can go lower. Look, to own this radio, you need to have an amateur radio license to be able to operate, obviously, on the CD portion of it, to get you onto those areas. Now, you'd be using upper sideband there on 28490, but as a mobile, if without having to put a full 0 to 30 meg radio in your car, if you're a bit of a 10 meter fanatic, I like it. I think this could be a really good radio in the fact that you're still getting, pretty good power out of it. Let's call it 70 watts sideband. I must admit I didn't check FM. Okay, so they're being pretty smart. They're keeping the FM power down to about 20 watts. Sorry, I'll just show you that too. Sorry, I meant to do that. About 25 watts FM. Now, the reason they're doing that is because of the full carrier. SSB, 70 watts, lovely. But if you're going to sit there and heat up that rear output stage and that heatsink, that's going to have its limitations with full carrier. So they've been smart enough to say, well, look, on FM, let's drop that back a bit. So probably wise. But yeah, as a little 10-meter radio, I think very nice microphone they come with. It fits in your hand quite nice. It's lovely. Does a good job. And they're just a very neat looking 10-meter radio. I just think that people will certainly see the advantages of maybe look, obviously everyone on this video is aware of some of its other uses. I'm just trying to present an alternative point of view. This certainly is a nice receiver, 100%. The transmitter, I was actually speaking to my mate about this, and he said, look, the transmitter's good. He said it's fine. He said, there's probably would have been nice to have seen them use a couple of devices to take it up to. Sorry, that wasn't it. Yes, it was. A couple of devices in the final. That's right. To take it up to 100 plus watts would have been nice. But I don't know. The simplicity of it, not bad. So you be the judge, of course. All right. This has been a quick look at the Cobra 200 GTL DX on 28490 and 29.6, and look, great little radio. I'm glad it covers the bands that that obviously some of us use, and they're getting a bit more active too. I can tell you now. I've been working a few 10-meter FM repeaters lately, and that's been good. Just for your knowledge, the Northeast Victorian Amateur Radio Club is in the throes of getting up a new 10-meter repeater at the moment, and I'm trying to remember where we got the license for that, whether it was 660. I think it was 660. Yeah, I think 29660, which would be there. Pretty sure it was 660. Maddie, you can watch the video and tell me and make a note there if I've got that one wrong. But anyway, that'll be up soon on 10 meters. And, we've had the joy of working all the repeaters around the countryside from you guys that have put them up for our benefit. So our club's trying to put something up at the moment to do the same. I know we've got a 6-meter up at the moment too. And you're going to ask me what frequency that is. Go to the www.nevarc.org.au page, and I'm sure they're all listed on there under repeaters, etc. Hopefully, pretty sure they are. All right, all the best from VK3 Charlie Mike. Nice to show you this little 10-meter radio. Certainly very, very interesting. Just having a bit of a look just at what it's capable of, etc. I was just having a little look on top. Actually, it's got a bit of a listing of its frequency ranges and bits and pieces on just a little sticker there. I was curious whether I needed to comment on that, but that's pretty much just saying what we've been saying here. All right, all the best to you. 73s, VK3CM, please subscribe, and thanks very much for everyone that has been. It's ramping up really well. Thank you. Cheers.